Well, one item that we should note is that when we take the quadratic formula, which is to say when we have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, and x is equal to the negative of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, note the item that's underneath the square root. B squared minus 4ac, that is what we call the discriminant. So our discriminant is actually this quantity right here, and that makes a difference for us, right? Because we remember that since it is under a square root, it's going to differentiate whether or not we get real solutions or complex number solutions, like we saw in the last two examples. So here's the rule. If the quantity b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, then we will have two real solutions. If the quantity b squared minus 4ac actually equals 0, we only get one real solution. And if b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, if it's a negative number under that radical, there's going to be two complex solutions. So let's check this out. How will this work out? Well, all we really want to do is we want to use the discriminant to determine whether or not a quadratic equation has one real, two real, or two complex solutions using this test above. So we want to identify A, B, and C. Well, A, in this case, is 3. B is negative 1. And C is negative 2. So how is that going to work? Well, in this case, if we take B squared minus 4AC, we're going to get negative 1 squared minus 4 times A, which is 3, times C, which is negative 2. That becomes 1 plus, right, negative times a negative. 4 times 3 is 12, times 2 is 24, and this gives us 25. By the way, a special note on this number right here. Because it is a positive perfect square, in fact, we will be able to find that 3x squared minus x minus 2 is actually we can actually solve that by factoring, because 3x squared minus x minus 2 is factorable. Well, how do we know that? We were going to get two rational answers by putting 25 under our square root, right? Not an irrational answer. Let's compare that to 3x squared minus x minus 1. If we put in these numbers, a equals 3, b equals negative 1, and c equals negative 1, those negative ones just don't want to come out without attaching themselves to the negative here. Let's see if I can do this properly again. Equals negative 1 equals negative 1. Okay, so when we work this into our equation, negative 1 squared for b squared minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is negative 1, we're going to get 1 plus 12 this time, which is 13. Okay, so in both of these cases, we're going to get two real solutions. But really, we can actually make a little bit of a further differentiation here with our two real solutions with each of these cases, because in the first case, both of them would be rational because we're taking the square root of a nice perfect square number, whereas in our other case, we're going to get two irrational answers. All right. So in testing these things, we can certainly do that. Well, let's just check a couple more situations right here, just so that we see it. Let's say that I had this one. Let's say that I had 16x squared plus 24x plus 9 was equal to 0. And we wanted to find out how many solutions does this one have? Well, using our formula, b squared minus 4ac, we're going to get b squared, which is 24 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 16, times 9 equals 0, 24 squared, what's 24 squared? Well, let's think about this. 24 squared, I like to think of 24 squared as being 20 plus 4, and 20 squared would be 400. 4 squared would be 16, and 2 times 20 by 4 would be 160. So we're actually going to get 576. All right, what about this one? 4 times 16 times 9. Well, 4 times 16 is going to be 64. Take 64 times 9. What do we get? Well, 64 times 9 is going to be 4 times 9, 36. Take 6 times 9, you're going to get 54 plus 3. Lo and behold, 576 is our number right here. And it turns out that we're going to get one solution only. Right? We're going to get 0. Well, 0, of course, that is what we're identifying as our discriminant. And so there's only one real solution right here. In fact, this is a perfect square trinomial, 16x squared plus 24x plus 9. You might recognize that because 16 is a square, 9 is a square, and 2 times 4 times 3 is 24. Okay. Now, on the last one right here, let's just try one more. Let's say that I've got something like x squared minus 5x plus 2 equals 0, plus 12 equals 0. What happens there? Well, if we take b squared minus 4ac, we're going to get negative 5 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 12, is going to give us 25 minus 48. Well, that's 23, but negative 23. And since that's less than 0, we're going to get two complex numbers. So we would have two complex solutions. Okay, good luck in your homework. See you in class.